So would Apple do this? Well, several tech developers are coming forward to confirm that this is exactly how Apple operates and has for years. So when Apple threw the social media company Parler off the App Store, remember that because they allowed Donald Trump to speak? You thought it was an anomaly, but it wasn't.
Tucker Carlson is joining the chorus of right-wingers who have gone to war with Apple over claims that Elon Musk has made about Apple on Twitter. Now, Musk claims all sorts of things, including the fact that Apple has threatened to withhold Twitter from its App Store, but won't tell us why. Now, is there any truth to that? We don't know because there is no confirmation of that. Apple has not said anything publicly about taking Twitter off of its App Store. There's no indication whatsoever. And Elon Musk, I mean, I don't know if I'm just gonna take what he says at face value. Now, Apple does have strict rules for its App Store that limits objectionable content. So that includes discriminatory content related to religion, race, and sexual orientation. It also restricts overly realistic violence and pornographic material. So there are some standards for Apple's App Store, and maybe Elon Musk, knowing full well that he likes to harbor all sorts of hate speech and unsavory individuals on Twitter, is concerned that like Apple might ban Twitter from its App Store as a result of what he's fostering on the social media platform. But regardless, this has in fact sparked a cacophony of right-wing backlash from people like Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, and yes, Tucker Carlson. So let's hear more from him and why he's so concerned about Apple.
Even the most cynical observers assumed that big tech companies like Apple censor speech, yes they do, but only in extraordinary circumstances. Oh no, they do it all the time. In fact, Apple engages in large-scale secretive censorship. And always and everywhere, Apple helps the Chinese government. So preventing American citizens from saying what they believe or getting to the truth about something while bolstering the power of one of the most repressive governments in the world. This summer, for example, an FTC commissioner called Brendan Carr went to Apple about TikTok. TikTok was and is on the App Store. No threat of TikTok being kicked off. And the FTC commissioner told Apple that TikTok was likely harvesting private user data from hundreds of millions of Americans and sending those data back to China. Now, Apple must have known that what Carr was telling them was likely true, but Apple ignored him anyway and did nothing.
Fascinating. Well, update to this story that I just learned about because Elon Musk tweeted this 39 minutes ago and I was already on air. He says, good conversation with Apple. Among other things, we resolved the misunderstanding about Twitter potentially being removed from the App Store. Misunderstanding, interesting. It seems like you just accused Apple of wanting to do something when you had no indication that they were planning on doing it. But he continues to say, Tim was clear that Apple never considered doing so. Cool, so why did you think they were considering it? Did you just make it up? Seems like you made it up. Now going back to Tucker Carlson here, who's very concerned about TikTok. He is very concerned about data harvesting. You guys, we're all concerned about data harvesting. I mean, TikTok's doing data harvesting? Whoa, okay, it's true, and you should be concerned. But my argument is you should be concerned about every website doing the same thing, literally every website. So and by the way, you should be concerned about not only TikTok doing it, but companies like TikTok doing it as well. Over $571.8 million of Twitter's revenue in fiscal year 2021 was from data licensing and other sources. Data licensing means they collect your data as you use the site or the app. They then take your data and they sell it to third parties, including advertisers, data brokers. Revenue for the segment grew 12.3% compared to the previous year. Twitter also sells data licenses that enable its data partners, meaning the third parties, to access and analyze historical and real-time data on the company's platform. So data harvesting is not good, regardless of who does it, whether it's the Chinese government, whether it's TikTok, whether it's a US-based social media platform. I don't like it when Twitter does it. I don't like it when TikTok does it. And it's just so fascinating that as soon as their daddy complains about Apple, oh, the right wingers line up. Yes, daddy, yes, yes, yes. We will go to war with Apple, daddy. We will do it just for you. Elon Musk is such a genius. He's such a genius that he fired people that he desperately needed for the company to run smoothly. But let me continue. Oh, by the way, for Tucker, you know who else does data harvesting? Fox News. So let's get to those details. And this is from foxnews.com/privacy-policy. When you access and interact with the Fox News services, Fox News and its service providers may collect certain information about those visits. If you access the Fox News services from a mobile or other device, we may collect a unique device identifier assigned to that device, geolocation data, including your precise location, or other transactional information for that device. Cookies and other tracking technologies such as browser cookies, pixels, beacons, local storage, and other mechanisms use various approaches to collect and store data. These technologies may also be used to collect and store information about your usage of the Fox News services, such as pages you have visited, search history. No, bring it back up. I'm not done yet. Bring it back up. Search history, and the video and other content you have viewed. There we go, that's the graphic. Okay, so the last part. So, wow, data harvesting sounds like a big deal, everybody. Right? I'm sure Tucker will do another lengthy, whiny monologue about data harvesting that's happening at the company he works at, the company that signs his paychecks. I'm sure you will, right, Swanson boy? Looking forward to it. But let's move on. Fox News, by the way, may share your information with business partners to permit them to send you marketing communications. It's part of how they make money. It's part of their business model. This is how it works, folks. And so when people are easily doxxed because their private information is all over the internet, this is why. Now let's move on. Here's what's really going on with Elon Musk, if you ask me. Musk made a really dumb decision, okay, in overpaying for Twitter. He overpaid at a minimum to the tune of $22 billion. So he's desperately trying to make money. He's trying to turn this around, make it profitable. And one of the things that really bothered him about Apple was this, and this is actually accurate. Apple has mostly stopped advertising on Twitter. Do they hate free speech in America? You know what? Yeah, they do. As most corporations in this country happen to hate. And why do I say that? They hate it because free speech means that people sometimes will say awful, terrible, hateful things, and they don't want to advertise on platforms where they will then be associated with hate speech or with any speech that might alienate a portion of their customers. They're not doing that because they're moral or because they're concerned about hate speech. They don't actually care that much. What they do care about is alienating customers because they want to make money. So when you think about the adpocalypse on YouTube, it's not that YouTube decided out of nowhere, like we're just gonna demonetize people just to mess with them because we just want to censor people. It's what we want to do. No, it's because their advertisers were tired of their pre-roll ads and their mid-roll ads showing up on white supremacist content. They didn't want it. That's what that's what led to the adpocalypse. That's part of it, right? And the same thing is happening over at Twitter with Apple. Now, a person familiar with the matter confirmed that Apple has pared back its Twitter ads. The company holds meetings with Twitter to discuss various issues roughly once a week, just as it does with other major social networking apps, including Facebook and Instagram. Now, the iPhone maker was consistently one of the top advertisers on Twitter, which had, keyword here, an entire team of employees dedicated to helping maintain the relationship, according to two people familiar with the matter. When you fire the team that maintains the relationship with Apple, that might lead to some consequences, including Apple paring back their advertising on your platform. But Elon Musk is a genius, everybody. He's a genius. He's like the smartest man in the world. He's so smart that he fires the team that he needs to maintain relationships with companies that advertise on the platform. So smart, really, really smart. And Apple isn't the only company that's reconsidering advertising on Twitter, in fact. So I'm sure there will be many other right-wing meltdowns about so-called censorship regarding some of these companies. A number of large companies have paused their ads on Twitter since Musk took over the company. The exodus included General Mills and Pfizer, and the billionaire acknowledged that the defections led to a massive drop in revenue. Now, why did they do that? It's weird. Is it because, his whole subscription model where you can pay $8 for a blue check mark led to a bunch of randos impersonating real companies and real people and corporations to put out ridiculous tweets? And that turned some of these brands off? Yeah, I think so. I think that has a lot to do with it. So real smart. And by the way, Phil Schiller, the longtime Apple executive who oversees the App Store, deleted his Twitter account after Musk reinstated Donald Trump's account, who had been booted from the platform in the wake of the January 6, 2021 attack on the US Capitol. So I'm sure that hurt Elon Musk's feelings as well. So I'm just gonna leave it there. What this is really about is Musk not wanting to take responsibility for his poor decisions once he acquired Twitter that led to a massive drop in revenue, and he wanted to blame the companies who pared back their advertising on the platform as a result of his decisions. Look, while all of us keep getting told over and over again by right-wing elitists that we really need to take personal responsibility for our lives. Like if we're suffering from poverty, if we're unable to find affordable housing, it's really our fault. It's our fault. We need to take personal responsibility. But have you guys ever noticed that these genius billionaire CEOs never want to take personal responsibility for their poor decisions, and they're constantly looking for a scapegoat? They do, right? It's almost as if the whole notion of a meritocracy is BS. Really is. And the whole notion of us needing to take personal responsibility while they allegedly do, BS.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.